Yo, what up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Snacks and Raps. I'm your host, RHIPS, and today we have some more special guests with us, man. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them to you all shortly, but, make sure if you haven't already, hit that button, hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit the notification bell, and every Sunday we're trying to keep this, rhythm going of releasing some new episodes. So make sure to tune in if you haven't. So today we have none other than Countime, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce the fellas real quick. So let's do this, yo. What's up, fellas? How's it going, man?
What up?
How we doing, man?
Good.
Great. So let's get into it, man. Off the bat, like who are we speaking to today?
I am Jimmy Two Step.
All right.
Yo, what's up? It's Root Dog.
This is Johnny Boy.
Junior 5150.
Perfect. Oh, can we get you to school?
There's Sammy Davis in this motherfucker. Right?
Sammy Davis Jr.
We'll get them all. We'll get them all squeezed in there. All
Jimmy
right.
Davis Jr.
Jimmy Davis Jr.
That's another one.
Jimmy Davis Jr.
Jimmy Two Step, Jimmy Dos Pasos, Jimmy Davis Jr. Y'all come up with other ones. Let's put them in the comments. All right. We'll start a list there.
I've got to be me.
Cool. So as a collective, you all make up what band?
Countime.
All right. Tell us a little bit about Countime. Like what kind of, genre? Obviously I know, but I want to give folks, a little bit of a backgrounder, So
Trying to rap LA hardcore to the fullest.
Okay. All right. And what is LA hardcore for those that might not know,
Anything from the heart is born in the city of Angels. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? If you're born and bred in the city of Angels, you got to break it down where you came from. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go and film a video at the LA bridge because you can just walk outside your path.
It's right
There's
there.
oh, shit. There's shit going on. The fucking Palatero's more fucking hardcore than us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They've seen a lot more action, right?
I'm sure of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's right there slanging all day. So, he's seen all kinds of bullshit. Chicken heads, bear's heads, fucking hyenas fucking cheating on their man. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck's going on.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, man. I'm curious. Where are all you all coming from in terms of like the space of the city, right? Like what hoods, what neighborhoods, But when I say hoods, I don't mean like the politics side of things, right? Just keeping it geographical, right?
Yeah.
So just to kind of paint a picture of what's been kind of like, influencing that the lyrics or even the sound of the band,
Growing up in Northeast LA, Cypress Park,
Okay.
skating in Echo Park, Lockwood, Hollywood, having baby mamas in fucking the Valley. So,
Okay.
just all over
All
LA,
over
man. You know what I'm
LA.
saying?
Seeing a lot of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Central, Norwalk, you know what I mean?
Okay.
There's Southeast,
Southeast.
Rivera, 562.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oil Heights, East LA, DTLA.
Nice.
Midtown LA.
Wherever we could rest our head when
Mid-city.
they kick us out of
Yeah.
the pad. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Mid-city,
originally where we're all from.
South Central, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Originally,
everywhere.
Cypress Park, Oil Heights, Pico Rivera, Mid-City.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys span the entire, I would say, like metro, like LA. What are some of those moments, maybe in your individual lives, that really like impacted you and were like, yo, I gotta somehow, or that moment creeped into the music, right? Like, what were those moments, for y'all?
When it shows, man, you listen to the lyrics. 'Cause, I mean, like, for me, like, the lyrics are the most important thing in the music. I mean, you can have a heavy ass beat, you can have a fast beat, but if I don't know what the fuck you're saying, I don't care what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So every time I would hear bands and they're talking about some violent shit, I'm like, I never use a word like that. Smash? The fuck I do like the Hulk? You know what I mean? So when you're talking about fucking, getting somebody, why don't you keep it real? I mean, I remember back in the days, was getting fucking shanked with a flathead screwdriver, They take your hat or take your shoes on the fucking bus.
Dang.
So
What years are we talking about here, man? For you,
93, 94.
And the rough, tough, and dangerous.
the rough, tough, and dangerous.
RTD.
RTD?
Catch the RTD.
Most people don't know what the heck the RTD
Catch
is.
the RTD, man.
That's the predecessor of the
Oh, the
MTA.
MTA,
Yeah, I used to go to school.
Junior, do me a quick favor, man. Just pull the mic back this way so the arm's not in your face.
All right. Like that.
I got you. Should be good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I used to go to school in Hollywood, man, because I got, back in the days, I got kicked out of fucking junior high like 4 times. So they
Okay.
would be like, oh, OT, what the fuck is OT? see, opportunity transfer. Hell, now you're just making me go further. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, exactly. There's no opportunity in that.
opportunity transfer.
Liars, man.
Hell nah. So I just got bounced around from like different schools and shit. And when I ended up in Hollywood, I would just, it was a trip because I used to go to school in Echo Park when I was a kid.
Mm.
So all my old friends that I knew when we were like in elementary, they all became like fucking bangers and taggers and skaters or whatever. But to meet up with all the fools and see what they were doing later, I was just, God damn. So I would just trip out and think about it and start writing. But never thought I was gonna fucking grab the mic.
Yeah.
That shit came later.
Later.
Oh yeah, I'm talking like way later. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I mean, when I was going to school, I was like 15, whatever.
Do you remember that first moment when you're like, "Fuck yeah, the mic's for me"?
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
But yeah, no, exactly, because it's never like that.
No.
It's not that like guts and glory kind of shit.
Hell
It's always
nah,
like,
it wasn't like that. I wasn't trying to fucking go grab the mic and be, hell no. It was like I played the bass in the band because I was like,
Okay,
the bassist
gotcha.
in other bands. And the singer at the time decided that, he couldn't do it because whatever priority he had going on is what it was. So as I wrote all the lyrics and did all the backups, they were like, why don't you step up and man? I'm like, I could do the lyrical flow and everything. And I was already doing the backups, but I had never been on front man. So when I did grab the mic, we played a show and the fucking PA went out. So all these kids are skating like in an empty pool. So, I'm doing the set and you can't hear a fucking thing I'm saying because there's no PA. So the first official show I did was at the Whiskey. And I remember throwing up though.
Before the show?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Nerves, huh?
Yeah, because I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I mean, so I was just like, fuck it. I'm all like sweating like a hooker in church and shit. So I was like, I get my fucking paño and I'm like, I just put it on like so I could stop sweating, dog. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I used to do in the pit, just go off. And mind you, I was thinner and younger then, so I had like more stamina. And I guess I just found my fucking, I found my fucking groove. But yeah, fuck no, I didn't want to fucking sing at the beginning. Hell nah. Shit.
What about for the rest of y'all? Like, what was that moment for y'all? Like, where you're like, yo, I'm gonna be a part of this. Like whether it was like, however that calling came to y'all.
I got recruited by him in 06.
Like
06, late 06, early 07, around there. Yeah.
Okay.
And, I'm actually was best friends with his nephew. So,
Sick. All right.
yeah, he needed a guitar player and a bass player. And we had our little side band going, but that wasn't going to go nowhere. We were, and I had the opportunity to jump with him in a professional band. Let's fucking jump on it, man.
And by the time that you jumped on, was it already you were already seeing it like, yo, this shit's about to jump off? Like,
it was already cracking.
It was already cracking.
Yeah,
okay.
They freaking were packing shows.
Sick with it.
People were singing pile-ons, whatever.
Mosh pits were the shit.
Mosh pit, all
we
kinds of crazy
everybody
shit.
was friends then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody was friends then. There was no bullshit.
No
you know?
politics
No
involved.
politics,
yeah.
Man.
Everybody was friends. Everybody supported each other. You know what I mean? It was cool.
There's something about the attention that people get that can kind of change you at times, right? Like for some folks, or even on the flip side, right? The attention you don't get can kind of change people and be like, these fucks, why are they getting?
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like, we won't get into that, but I know that sentiment is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
like that,
There, man.
Yeah.
absolutely, man. There's a lot to be said about that, but not here.
No, I mean, it's like if you have that mindset where you're gonna like, I'm gonna be a rock star. Well, you better keep wishing, you know what I mean? Because it's like
right.
if you go with no fucking no intentions of where it's gonna go, I mean, then shit happens. Like we never expected.
You feel blessed that you get all the opportunities
we never
that
expected.
you're afforded. You just
We never
you take
expected
it.
to go any further than fucking playing a backyard. You know what I mean? Well, not with this band, but like the first band
Previous,
that we were in.
right? Yeah, as you guys were growing up, right?
So,
into
for us to start just doing like focusing on venues, I mean, we didn't think it would make it past like fucking 6 months. You know what I mean? Let alone get on some bills, whatever. I never seen anything because if you fucking look at the end of the tunnel, you're fucking gonna be looking forever, man.
right.
Yeah.
Just keep focused.
Enjoy
on
the
that
ride.
next step.
Enjoy the ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And before you know it, the ride is becoming something that you never expected, and then when shit gets real, you're just like, whoa, how the fuck did this happen?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
It's a
real.
trip. It's a trip, dude.
That's very true. Very true.
So
Okay.
that's what we
dig
at
that.
right now.
Let's finish the circle here, man.
Yo,
What
well, for me, I grew up skateboarding, right?
So from there, that was like a portal to music, watching videos, start hearing all these songs. And I'm like 10 years old, hearing all this, skating with all the older brothers and all that. So I'm like, yo, what band is that? Or what's this? So little by little, they start taking me to gigs. So I'm like the littlest kid there, seeing the pit break out. And I was like, yo, I thought they were fighting, And remember, I'm like 10, 11 years old. So little by little, I'm just like, yo, this is cool. So we start going to gigs, teenager, all that. And I'm like, yo, I got to play guitar, do something here,
Yeah.
So just all that influenced me. We started our own band and, little by little, just kept putting in the work. And here we are now on this podcast.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah, right.
And what was that? I guess moment for you as well that kind of like caught your attention? It's like, no way, man. This is I'm
just basically the energy.
Jumping in.
It's just the energy. It's like
yeah.
skateboarding is an extreme sport too. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's a
Yeah.
sport. Obviously, it's not to me, not the way we grew up. But I'm just saying it's
It's a way
extreme.
of life,
So music, the
Skating
next thing
definitely
was
had a lot to
extreme
do with
as
it,
well.
man.
Skating had a lot to do with it, man.
It's just that energy, the power of just like, yeah, I feel natural and comfortable with it.
And you ended up picking up the guitar, right?
Well,
Or-
what happened was I got a guitar and I had it there. I didn't know how to play nothing. I had this other friend that knew how to play. He already knew what's up, like in high
Always
school.
something like that, man.
Yeah, so we're like, yo, let's start a band. So we started like just all punk covers. I
Perfect.
learned quick. Within a month, I was already playing these
Oh,
songs,
snap. Okay.
We did that. We were called Blueprint, actually, but we never played gigs. That was just our thing. We would play in my room. And then from there, we started our actual real band. I met this guy, whatever, started a punk band called Opposition. And we already had he played guitar when I met him. So I was like, fuck it, I'll play bass. I had a bass too. So my homemade do vocals, and then he brought in a drummer. We did that, we were playing bass, and then I ended up leaving that band for Union 13, jumped on bass with them. Did like about a 6-7 year run with them.
Okay.
And then,
Who's Union 13 for those that might not know? Because as equally as important as Countime, man, I would say,
Epitaph recording artist in the 90s, man.
Epitaph
I'm saying,
was like in the 90s. Epitaph was like the punk label you wanted to be on.
a lot of folks. I won't say every,
You know,
but
what's funny
yes.
is when they got signed, it was like we felt like we got signed. You know what I mean? Because we were representing us. We used to fucking, go see them play shows. We knew them when they were, Union before the Union 13. So when they got signed, everybody I know, a lot of people we know, like we felt like we were a part of it. You know
Like
what I mean?
everyone made it kind of thing.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah.
they're focusing on the fucking La Raza. I mean, at the time, this is Bad Religion. You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
is
exactly. I was about to ask.
Saw
I was
no
about to ask.
Mexican bands.
I was
fucking
about to
bring back,
ask, 'cause
man.
Bad Religion. You know
Because
what
that was the time Epitaph, right? Bad
Right,
Religion was at the top, right?
Religion,
of
Pennywise, Rancid.
and they were all
Right.
white, right? They
Yeah,
were all
right.
like suburb
Right.
kind of kids,
Right,
right? Pretty much like sharing great music, but that way of life wasn't always resonating with folks like us, right?
So they set the tone, basically, like, you know what, your dreams can come true. If you work hard enough, you do your music, you'll get found, like the way they did.
Right.
But in reality, it's just you got to hustle to get towards. Now
Yeah.
it's just whoever you know is how you get in the mix. You know what I mean?
Right.
Music, yeah. I mean, I don't know how it is for other people, but for us, we're still on that, on that hustle. You know what I mean? We still have that fire going. We're still those fucking little kids trying to, learn how to skate and play guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
So
aside with all the bullshit that comes with it. You know what I mean?
so coming back to playing the guitar, right? By the time that you were with Union 13 and that was cracking off, what did that moment mean to you?
Oh man, it's basically, that was like for us, like he was just saying, it was like that's the dream we wanted, Epitaph Records, And then I would tell myself, like, what does it feel like to wake up in the morning and know you're on Epitaph Record? This is me as a
Yeah,
teenager
For real,
thinking
yo,
shit like that.
Fucking listening to that shit
And
when I was
that
growing up too.
Okay,
you know?
next day, it ended up happening, because I run into Louis, the drummer, at a backyard gig. We're in the back, taking a piss, finding a spot, whatever.
Yeah.
We run into each other. We're like, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Good. I was like, how's Union doing? He's like, not too good, man. We're looking for a bass player. What's up, dude? He's like, you down or what? I go, hell yeah. He's all, you got gear? I go, yeah, I got a rig. He's all like, can you tour? And I go, dude, that's what it's all about. Let's do it. Let's go, So he's all right, cool. So we exchange numbers. I'll come through practice on Monday. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get there. They all roll into the garage.
Sick.
And then fucking hit it, nailed it. Like, I was like, I'm gonna get this shit. I ain't letting this shit go,
Right.
So they went outside, had a little meeting. They come back in, like, all right, man, you want the gig? I go, fuck yeah. All right, well, we're going to Panama next week. Can you learn this fucking 25 song set?
No fucking way.
I go shoot it, you know? So the next day they pick me up, take me to go get my passport. You know, so boom, get that shit. Then we drive to Epitaph Records. I'm like, oh shit, here it is. They take me inside, introduce me to everybody.
That was your first time in
First
there?
time ever.
Fuck, yo.
Walk
Okay.
in, I'm just like, yo, fuck yeah. You know?
That's crazy.
Take me to the back, take me to the warehouse, or I'll get whatever you want. Boom, I start getting vinyls, stickers, posters, tapes, everything. You
Yeah,
know what I
at the
mean?
candy
Yeah.
shop, right?
I walked out with
Yeah.
a box
Right.
of stuff, you know? Kick down my friends with shit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like I said, man, that was my dream come true at the time. I was like, yes.
Yeah, one of the biggest indie punk labels at that time. You
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, like we
absolutely.
were saying, being label mates with all those bands, that's what we grew up listening, you know,
Yeah.
every day in the rotation, you know?
Yeah.
We would hit in the backyard of my friend's house playing tapes and just like,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah.
that was our love for the music, you dig? So it
Yeah.
was like the best shit ever, bro.
I've heard Pit's been described almost as like ceremonies, man. Like where young folks go out and experience that like that youthful spirit, but are able to like come together in like this camaraderie moment of like physicality of just like letting it out and being like, yo,
Positive aggression.
positive aggression, bro. I'm not mad at you. I'm not, you know what I mean? No one's fighting, like you said, because that shit do be looking like a fight.
Yeah.
Everybody's spinning around, you know?
You know
But-
what it is, yeah.
But you know what it is, you know, and everyone's for the most part respectful, you know, and like for the most part,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, somebody fell, try to get them up, you know, or like
They know
jump
if you're
over them or something.
snapping or if you
Yeah,
got a cheap
yeah.
shot in.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, and all that's like, you know, it's part of it, but it's like a certain part where you don't get to like really throwing
Yeah,
blows
yeah.
and getting into a fight because they're like, I hate you, or like fuck enemies type shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's more just like aggression, fuck blood, hell yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
joints fucking popping out.
Yeah.
I remember all that shit, bro.
That's
Like,
how we made. That's how we made the
you,
transition.
you embrace
you know?
after that shit, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like,
That's how we
I
made
saw
the
you in the
transition
pit,
from
yo.
punk rock to hardcore.
okay,
Because
Exactly.
as you're saying everything, I mean, we all grew up like going to pits, whatever. And as time went on, certain bands started changing their sound, and the pits started getting a little bit more happier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A little bit more
got you.
happier, and they weren't as fast anymore. And the only one that was like doing it was like Pennywise and
Mhm.
them,
Yeah, Union.
and they were like, you know, the Mexican Pennywise.
yes,
So when you discover hardcore, the aggression comes back, stage diving, you know, and it's just going ape shit. So yeah, I got tired of how like, you know, I'm fucking going in a fast pit and then it just starts slowing down where what the fuck happened? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I needed my fix. So I just started listening to straight edge. I'm not straight edge, but I think that that's the best fucking style of fucking punk rock ever. You know what I mean? Because you're sober and you're just full of energy.
Destroying it, yeah.
And you're fucking your message is like
clear.
not just about, you know, not taking drugs, but it's like thinking, you know, straight
Yeah.
fucking forward fucking mindset.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us need that, man.
Hey, no doubt, definitely. A lot of us need that
you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
like straight, like you said, straight edge foundation,
Yeah, a
or
lot of us
like
need that.
like discipline. I would even say, because if
Yeah.
you don't know what that next step is, chances are you kind of start
Definitely.
zigzagging, and
Definitely.
in that zigzag, you might find some of those, you know, real
Right,
LA
right.
moments and shit where you're
Right.
like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
How
you
the
know what
fuck
I
did
mean?
I get here? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
shit.
we could never write lyrics like that in Countime just because, like, you know, at the time, whatever I was going through is what I was writing about. You know, and some of these fucking dickheads decided to beat themselves with fucking senses to our music, where it's like it wasn't even what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going through a divorce. So I was just like fucking all fucked in the head, writing how I felt.
Mm.
And whatever became, I guess you could say, my career. You know what I mean?
Hey, or a
Yeah.
lot of people would say maybe like even for that moment, a portion of the therapy that was like needed, you know, to be able to
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
move on.
Definitely.
Well, you know, when you're fucking, when your bitch leaves you and shit, you know what I mean? You have all these fucked up thoughts, man. You know, fuck that motherfucker up and this and that. So I would just jot it down.
there you go.
You know, I must have killed that dude in my head like I don't know how many times. You know what I mean? I just wrote it down. And
Yes.
before I knew it, it became a record. And I'm like, whatever, you know?
Yes.
We ran with it and I was just like, well,
Not a lot of people can say they can make money off the emotions and the thoughts they be feeling, man. You know, and I think that's the beautiful part about artists, you know, that if you allow yourself that space to kind of clear that mind and let it go out, right? Whether it's like written or like music, that shit, man, saves you jail time, saves you money. You
well,
know
see,
what I
that's-
mean?
you
Like,
write about every experience you went through. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You write about every experience. Like, you know, people were like, yo, how'd you come up with that name? I was like, you know, when you were younger, man, you got in trouble. You know what I mean? I ended up in fucking, Supermax, whatever, and you hear that Countime every day. And I had nothing to fucking do, man. You know what I mean? I had nothing to fucking do. So I was just like, yo, one day I'm going to have that band. And this is like before I even thought about grabbing the mic. It was just an illusion in my head. So I had mentioned it to one of our friends. Years later, that became a band.
Yeah.
We never expected that. But then I just said, you know what? We might as well sing by LA, man. Because there's only one genre that I know that does from the heart, sings about the streets and that's motherfucking hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and growing up in LA, rest is history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
NWA, South Central Cartel, they all fucking put it down where it's like brown side.
That's funny because I would actually during those times I would say that I was listening to both like punk and like hip hop because of exactly that, the stories they were telling,
exactly.
And like how for me it felt like those were the only genres speaking to like the plight of the people, like the issues folks on the ground are going through type shit, and nobody else. Everybody else kept it kind of happy or like just focus on the good, and it's like
what's funny is it
no,
we first did a couple of the first tracks, whatever I was singing about at the time. I mean, a lot of people that grew up with us didn't really get it because they didn't have baby mamas, but now they do got baby mama drama, so now they know where I'm coming from, because that's the worst, dog. That just starts a whole fucking
a whole different cycle of hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That noise.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, man, money, fucking I seen your kid and all that shit.
All of that.
And then fucking that's when the party favors come in because you just don't want to fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? Before you know, you're strung out.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of, I mean, for what I'm hearing too, it sounds like there's a lot of like stress and pressure that comes from those moments of like riffs or breakups,
No, it's just life.
And yeah, exactly. Part of that life, that like you somehow are trying to like figure out as all of us, I feel like this is part of like that human fucking like condition, right? Where we're all kind of struggling through some shit, and sometimes some of us don't open up, just suffer in silence kind of shit, and or don't have that means to express or that means to let it out and shit, so it gets real fucking like dark for folks, but the fact that you all are able to put that down, and let some a little bit of light in through those cracks, I think says a lot in terms of like, like the calling that you guys are answering,
It's like this, man. Before you point your finger and talk shit about me, I'll put myself on blast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful.
Whatever you got to say about me, I'll tell you myself.
Just like an open book type.
Me, just buy my record.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's we don't have the book, but you can listen to the audio version. Yeah. Get those albums, right? Yeah. Let me come down to Jimmy Two Step here, or as I know you, Jimmy Canas. What's up, man? How did all this come about for you, man? Let's start from the beginning, dude. Like what was that one moment for you that inspired this whole journey into music for you?
Music was always around, I mean, I've always said it, like it goes back to me being 5 years old, whatever, fucking paying down Eres La Raza, or Mentirosa, or, fucking Paid in Full, and it just grew from there, like, and later on getting into, punk rock, going into backyards and seeing that energy, going to my first actual show at a venue, and seeing that band and just holy fuck, fucking insane. And then from then on out, I started studying these guys, these frontmen, like, fuck, look at all that energy they bring. Look at how they fucking control the crowd, crowd control. That's something, that you fucking really need to fucking handle when you're on stage. So, I just studied all that, man, and fucking, I picked up the drums for a little bit, like in 98.
I fucking knew it.
I was
it's like the truth comes out. I fucking knew it.
I was in a couple bands, but I mean, I still don't really, fucking knew how to play drums.
You were cutting your teeth then,
You know,
man,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It's like-
definitely. You know,
Green behind the ears.
but
Yeah,
I was still a little green behind the ears,
behind
you know.
the ears, yeah.
Yeah. You know, but fucking yeah, man. You know, and again, it just grew from there. You know, fucking started studying these fucking frontmen. You know, fucking then going back, you know, fucking hip hop and, you know, studying certain MCs and seeing how they would rock crowds, you know? And so just all over the place, you know, from hip hop to punk rock and fucking to hardcore, you know?
Right.
It goes hand in hand.
And yeah,
Yeah, I was
absolutely.
about to say, yeah,
Absolutely.
it does.
And so I think we actually spoke about that, you know, last time I was here.
Yeah.
They go fucking hand in hand, you
Yeah.
know? And so, yeah, from studying these frontmen, I think that's, you know, like, I think I was want to be a frontman simply because I knew, like, I've been writing since I was fucking young, you know? So I knew I wanted to fucking get my lyrics out there one way or another, you know? And like I said, I picked up drums first and yeah, that was cool, you know? Like, fucking kind of taught myself whatever, you know? Fucking, but I knew that my calling was behind the mic.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I need to be behind the mic. Like, I fucking got that energy. I fucking, you know, studying all these fucking frontmen, like, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
fucking, I get on stage, I'm all over the fucking place. And you know.
Talk a little bit about that. How
Tangled up in my guitar.
talk about how many times you bump into
You know,
people.
I
on stage.
annoy the shit-
Psychology.
I annoy the shit out of these guys on stage. They
I
hate
always
me.
feel like me and him getting these weird, like,
We fucking get fucking mic cable gets
Like
tangled up in his
stabbing.
guitar and shit. Yo, one time fucking
he got hit in the head.
last night, fucking Dick, I hit myself on your bass. Fucking one shot, I hit myself. Fucking, you know, you gotta bring that energy. That's my focus. Bring that fucking energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even if
Like,
it means falling off stage.
and oh yeah, one time, dude.
Oh yeah.
One time, this guy,
There is video, right? Oh, shit.
His shirt, like
This was-
yeah.
But I
It
mean,
was like a 10-foot drop.
The
Yeah.
human harness saved you and shit.
Yeah. It's funny because we're like in the middle of the song, you know, like he's not gonna fuck up. He's like,
Right. He saw it happening. He's like,
Yeah.
saw the future.
anybody who's in a band, I mean, which I like,
Yeah.
like the fucking like when the crowd is feeding off of what as much as we are feeding off of them, it's a give relationship. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The harder they're going, the harder we're going, and if the fucking if it's just right there, fucking like the same energy, tell me it's fucking.
We're gonna have a fucking blast.
It's
gonna
a
be a
fucking
nice time,
It's a
yeah.
rush. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's a fucking rush because I'm like, for you, I mean, you know what gets people going. You know, you put that shit in the pipe and they tell you to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you can fucking like turn them out with some music,
That's whole different shit,
you
man.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like shit.
That's some unforgettable.
Man,
moments
yeah,
right
at the end of the
there.
day, you know, fucking, if you don't come out off that stage sweating.
You didn't
Yeah.
do your job.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
didn't do your job.
Yeah.
If you didn't go leave everything on stage,
Yeah.
you didn't do your job.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean,
I like that.
There's a lot of bands out there. I mean, that are great, but you know, what I mean, there's not a lot of bands out there that fucking want to talk about the subjects we do. You know, and that's just because we just don't give a fuck, dog. We don't give a fuck, seriously, man, because there's got to be that one band that fucking lets you know, like, hey, if you was a bass head, we with you. If they fucking took your kids away, we was with you. You know, if you're behind that your fucking uncle, it's happened. Anything that is negative, we've been through it, man.
Yeah.
Or we're going through it.
Yeah.
You know, everything's nonfiction, where it's like, if you lost a friend, we know how it feels.
Mhm.
I mean, everything I write about is basically what we did or what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's never fucking a story that I made up because, well, I don't write stories though.
Mhm.
You know, fucking what I write about is what I've been through.
He's like, I just detail my life and shit.
Pretty much.
I just pen my life.
I mean, being from LA, I know I speak for almost a lot of people in this motherfucker where we all got a story to tell.
Absolutely.
You know, and I just tell LA through my eyes as I see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. LA will show you some shit, man. No matter where you at.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. LA will fucking like let you know like the shit is fucking real
Yes.
and active.
It's the land of dreams. It's the land of fiends. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right underneath the
You ever know-
dreams.
you ever notice motherfuckers come from like Buttfuck, like Ohio,
Anywhere, yeah.
and make
Buffalo.
it? Make it, right?
Yes.
Because why? They didn't come out here to fuck around.
Right.
You know what I mean? They came out here to fucking to struggle. Us, we live right here. So we're like, man, we ain't gotta try to be no movie star.
Yeah.
We'll be in a band, you know, but I never crossed my mind to be in the movies.
Yeah, because it's not all glitz and glamour though, man. That's the thing about the whole Hollywood shit, right? It's a fantasy. It's not a real like fools be giving you shit ton of money, but it's like in exchange for what, you know? A lot of people are unhappy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know?
Johnny's one of them.
Yeah.
She's like, true. He's like, I reserve from making comments. Next question.
Johnny want to go back to Pico de Vera.
So talk a little bit as a whole, like what's
Fuck
been
Hollywood.
what's
Been the anti-hero song.
Hollywood is fucked.
what's been one of those moments like recently in the tour that you guys are having, right? Because you're just coming off tour, right? You finished up a tour.
We just did a run with Murphy's Law.
Talk about that a little bit, man. How did that originate? Like where did that, go? And I think last night was one of those last shows, right? So let's talk a little. Let's recap those moments. How did it kick off?
I'll let him talk about that. I'm just gonna shout out our brother Jimmy G and Murphy's Law.
For sure.
Just like over the years, like playing New York, you know what I mean? Like developing, a relationship with all the bands out there that have been like very, very receptive to it, like to us, because we all know the East Coast, West Coast rivalry,
Yeah.
But and it's not. I mean, it's not like easy to win those bands over there, over because they already have their mindset what their music sounds like.
Yeah.
But then you have bands on the West Coast that, we come from the gang capital, man. We have a lot to say, even if we're not fucking gang members or whatever the fuck. There's a lot of shit going on. I mean, being a hood rat is a full-time job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Being a hood rat is a full-time job. You know what I mean? So we have a lot to say, and we built relationships, and they believed in fucking LA hardcore and started taking us out. So now we're very blessed to get the opportunity to play with motherfuckers who are on the posters of our wall. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and this is the other coast. I mean, the West Coast right here, we play with a lot of great bands right here. You know what I mean? But it's just, for some reason, the East Coast has been very, very, like, open arms to us.
That's what's up. Heck yeah. Was it multiple stops throughout the East Coast or multiple shows? Or what was the tour like for you guys out there?
Well, the first time we did East Coast was like in 2006. And we did like 6 weeks and shit, Oh,
snap. Damn.
Yeah, we did like 6 weeks. And I mean, it was fucking hell, though.
I was about to say, one, it must have been brutal, but two, like freaking
fucking eating
rewarding and shit.
Burger King every day with fucking Rosarita beans and shit, taking a shower at Coney Island with fucking baby wipes, you know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Fucking
part.
Being in the fucking van, being in the van with fucking like 6 dudes and shit. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Wipe out.
Something's got to give, man. You get to a point where you're like, God damn.
Y'all motherfuckers stank.
Yeah. These are your best friends on the road.
There's always one person that has that I don't take shower bullshit. And it's always a white boy, man.
Oh, damn.
It's always a fucking white boy, dude.
It's my good luck.
Fucking shower.
It's like when we did Europe in 2020, right? We were on a double-decker bus, and this was some rock star shit. Like this was the dream. You know what I mean? Like it didn't get no harder than that. Hey, after that motherfucking tour, that bus smelled fucking crazy.
Funky.
Yeah. I said, damn, I feel sorry for who has to fucking dry clean this motherfucker.
Dang.
Yeah, I smell fucking like straight pacuso, dog. Patas, culo, sobaco, dog. Fuck, yeah. I remember everybody all pedo and shit, and you have to walk through the aisle. I must have stepped on people's faces, dog, as I was trying to get up and get some coffee, because everybody's all passed out. So, because, some of them were hanging, drinking, whatever. And, put your hand out. Hey, I didn't mean to step on it, but I did. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit smelled crazy, man.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, women don't understand when you guys think that, backstage with a bunch of pussy. You don't want to be on that fucking bus.
It's
but
not.
Then again, there are some hoes out there that will. You know what I mean? You know who you are.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That just the image of that partying and then food's just like fuck it, like lights off right there where you're partying,
where you're at, weed, drinking. That shit's coming through your pores, and there's always got to be some motherfucker who's gonna shit on the bus. You know what I mean?
No, without a doubt, man.
And
or if some fool's throwing up and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
and everybody's, when that shit happens, everybody's like, but it wasn't me.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't shit.
Yeah, right. where I'm like, shit. But yeah, that's how it came about, man. We just building relationships with bands, and that's what it's all about, connecting, networking. And, people can see right through you, man. If you're fucking like trying to come off something like you're not, you know what I mean? It's like
fun, yeah.
And, with all due respect to everybody out there, it's like, we ain't trying to be something we ain't. We're just telling you the way it was when we fucking were coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now today, we tell you a different story, but the struggle is still real. You know what I mean? Like, it never ends, though. It fucking never ends. If it ain't the ones, if you're not thinking about the streets, somehow you're going to end up on the streets. If your baby mama kicks you out, that's where you're going to end up. So, yeah, I'm still singing about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real.
From the streets to the stage, you know what I mean?
Is there that makes me think of my next question, because is there like maybe a favorite song or album of yours that you're like, yo, I'm fucking, because of that moment, I'm glad I wrote this, or this came about, or when we played this.
I could never answer that before, but now it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, the last record we did, the Pandemic EP, that was our best work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Where can folks find that if they're interested?
Spotify, iTunes, fucking Headline Records.
Okay.
The Bandcamp,
online,
they can order it too.
Bandcamp, online.
That's direct.
The album.
Yeah, what the fuck happened going to fucking record stores and buying records? Remember that shit?
No, close them all down now,
all
man.
you gotta do is go online.
Amoeba. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Headline Records still in
Oh
Hollywood.
yeah, that's Headline. Shout out to Headline. Shout out to John.
I would say part of why records went down is kind of like the record label also not knowing what to do because of sales and records going down.
He got on that label is when it was like real.
Booming.
Yeah. Oh fuck
When
yeah.
it was real.
Heck
You know what I mean?
yeah. That's the peak of labels.
Yeah.
man.
Collected
Like,
all kinds of CDs.
When he was on the label, I mean,
they invested like tons of money into the art. The fucking booklets would be like sick as shit, yo. Like
that's him.
Man,
That's for him to let you know. Like, I mean, he was living it, not me. You know what I mean? Like, shit, we were still trying to fucking get a gig in the backyard.
yeah, no. Those moments, like records were almost like collectibles back then.
That's when
You
they were
just
paying
like,
for your fucking tour and your equipment. I mean, of course you pay it back, but
yeah, no, absolutely.
like you gave a fuck.
Yeah.
But you're getting it right then and there. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Got
I mean,
one job. Come out sweating. That's it.
now it's different where like you don't even have to fucking sign a contract or fucking shake hands. You can just be like, yeah, I'm on your label. You know what I mean? And that's it. And they'll put your record out wherever the record label's based out, whether in New York, Germany, whatever. That's just the way it is now. They give you a percentage of it, and you get like a percentage of like online streaming, which is fine. But fuck that. Why don't you finance a tour?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finance a tour.
I mean, technically, yeah, because Spotify
That's what they were
is
supposed to be there for. Right?
all the labels coming
Yes.
together and making that
mean,
happen.
Over the years, we all learned how to fucking like do DIY shit and fucking like make friends with distros, whatever. But
The game has changed.
only thing I want,
Yeah.
is distro and like finance a tour.
Yeah, or even like you said, Bandcamp, because Bandcamp's a little more direct. Folks can kind of like get to you and then pay you directly. I
Right.
mean, Bandcamp will take a little
Bandcamp's
percentage or
great.
whatever the hell,
Yeah.
but it's not like they're expecting you to do like 1,000 streams and then you get half a penny. You know what I mean? Like Spotify does, because that's the game with Spotify's playing and shit. It's like more streams to the penny kind of shit. Versus a Bandcamp type shit. Where they're like,
Where
we'll
the
just
money
take our
goes directly
3%
to
off
you,
top.
and you could sell your merch online.
Right.
Yeah, they give you exactly
You're
like
in
a
control
space.
of all your.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think as long as
I like
music's
Bandcamp.
online, man, that's all that matters.
That's another real point right there.
Because if you want money, I mean, go to work, homie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or get a sugar mama.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
go to sugarmama.com and find you a one. What? Okay, so just to continue with it, are you guys working on any new stuff, or was the last record for y'all that you were working on for right now, or what's the next steps for Countime?
We got a double vinyl coming out.
Sick.
Because in 2020 we got back from what did we start on 2019? We started working on the record with Billy from Biohazard.
Okay.
And then we went out to Europe, and then 2020 rolled over, whatever. And as we were finishing the record, we got offered to come out of a compilation from the guys from Unit 13. They started a label. So it was supposed to be one song, but it's never been the situation with us where we're not going to go in the studio and just drop one song. So they came with a fucking whole EP. So you know, we went and we recorded another 5, like what, 6 songs or something. And then we still have the other record that we did, the full length coming out. And I remember they were like giving us a hard time, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You guys are like, you know, you did this EP now, you have this record. I'm like, hey, fuck you. Nobody tells us what to do. You can't tell me to fucking put a pause on my art.
Right.
So we said, fuck this. Let's put both records out on one fucking record. So we got that coming out, and then we have fucking, you know, we're going back in the studio to write a new album this year.
Okay. Is there any music videos that folks should look out for or anything like that, or is that something in the works for the future?
I mean, there's videos online and shit on, you know, YouTube, whatever. But it's like, I would just say, listen to music. If it, you know, if it catches your attention, cool. If it doesn't, well, it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? But that's why you got other bands. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Listen to whoever you want.
Yeah, that's why music is so freaking expansive, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Heck yeah. Okay. I know that there's members of different bands going on within the group and stuff, right? And that makes it kind of easy to collaborate with each other. Is there like moments when like all those different groups come together and maybe go on tour or like you guys do a whole show together? Is that or how does that work for y'all?
I don't know. We haven't really tried to put like the Hoodcore Camp like all on one bill. I mean, we have played like on one bill, but not as like a unit on the tour. Like just because I don't know if everybody can make it.
Logistical nightmares.
Yeah. No, I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be like,
calendars, right? Because
it would just be like I don't know if everybody can make it. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Okay, it would be pretty cool, but I don't know if everybody can make it.
Yeah. We kind of like fucking Hoodcore circus, take it on the road.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
you know. But before we take it out on the road, whatever, like they have to, you know, get some fucking attention, just so people can know who they are. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you know how rough it is when you go on the road and people don't know who you are, and you just like, fuck, it just makes you remembering like when you used to play for your fucking girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
His girlfriend slamming for you.
Yeah. Like, so you won't feel like fucking
embarrassing.
Yeah, so you won't feel like fucking nobody's not moving. She'll get her homegirl going to pit for you, and you're just like, yo, man, you can just suck my dick. I'll be okay. Fucking embarrass me like that in front of my kid.
Dang.
We've all been there, man.
Oh yeah, heck
We've
yeah.
all been there.
So those are, I think, like the starter stories, right? Of like, yo, I'm just kind of starting off, or even hitting the road for the first few times, right? Like you said, like nobody knowing what's up, but then like coming back around, and people are like, oh shit, they're back.
I think my first like official show I ever played, it was like the scariest show I ever played. You know what I mean? It was like fucking nobody. There was like my chick and my homeboy. We played Al's Bar in downtown, and the dude that opened up for us, he had a fucking saw like this big, and he was just with a you know, with a violin thing. And I'm looking at this motherfucker. It was like open night, you know, open mic night. And he's with a saw, and I'm like shitting bricks to go on right after him. Now looking back, and I said, man, what the fuck was I scared? I was playing my fucking guitar. This was playing with a saw. What the fuck were you on?
I seen that. They have like noise bands and shit.
Oh man, yeah. I always tripped out on
I'm
that.
like,
The
yo.
mic up, chainsaws, whatever. Yeah, it's
What's up with you, man?
You know,
What's
fucking
up?
wood class
What's
fucking
up with
saw
you?
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's postmodern art, yo.
No bullshit. That's just
That's
fucking drugs.
drugs.
That's
That's
drugs.
drugs.
That's fucking dope, man. Fuck outta
Postmodern
here.
art, man.
How
What
many
is
times you
truth?
fucking
What is
walk-
truth? What is music?
the saw to a wah-wah
Shit,
pedal.
that ain't fucking art. That's fucking dope, man. How many times you fucking walking down fucking go down fucking 7th Street and you see some over there? Who the fuck you yelling at, homie? Ain't nobody there.
Sick one.
Like the other, just yesterday, we seen some fool going like this on the floor. I said, that fool like Shabba doing breaking. I was like, what the fuck you doing, man? Shit.
It's a fucking nothing, huh? Literally.
Like he couldn't walk on his feet, just his ass.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
Some strong concoction there. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Speaking of breaking, he was actually in Breaking 2, right?
breaking shit.
Breaking
Oh,
two.
what?
Yeah.
What? What?
We gotta save miracles, man. We gotta save miracles.
That's what's up. How did that come about,
Casa
man?
de Mexicano.
Was it at the Casa del Mexicano?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I know that
That was
spot.
up the street from my
Yeah.
pad.
Yo, I fucking seen Union 13 play there. I
Yeah,
think a few times.
there
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. What show was it? It was a big festival. I think it used to have like a big festival there.
I don't know. There was one upstairs, and then we did the basement. I know we played there twice.
We
I don't
played the
remember
basement,
what.
I saw the one in the basement. I think. Yeah, because I was in the parking lot and I had to go downstairs.
Yeah,
type shit.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I remember that spot. Yeah. I was
Good times.
I saw a lot of good bands there, man. I was like,
Right there, fucking Calle Pedro Infante.
yeah. That fucking street, that whole little like stretch of like East Los Boyle Heights is kind of like tucked away, yo.
Well,
like,
I mean, it was crazy when they did breaking, you know?
Yeah.
they did it there.
Yeah. They get that's
My
when-
uncle walked us up there to go check out like the shooting
Yeah.
of the last day because they needed extras and shit, the crowd. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was like
Yeah,
10
when
years old or something
KFC
like
and
that.
Pepsi sponsored it.
Fuck,
That's when in the 80s when you had to say
Yeah.
the Pepsi challenge said just say Pepsi. So they were giving all kinds of hats. I
Yeah.
remember fucking Ice Tea right there.
Ice-T,
He
yeah.
signed
Oh,
he signed her a hat.
Okay.
And like it's funny because he comes out in the movie like give so miracles can live, you know. And we're just
Yeah.
tripping out, you know what I mean? Like Shabba-Doo, there's Poppin' Taco right there, fucking Buggy Shrimp, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
All the classical school. bands,
animation.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because our neighbor worked at Canon. So he took us.
Yeah.
He took
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Oh, what the fuck? That's crazy. Because Canon was also the ones responsible for doing the whole freaking portion of what the fuck was it called? Like Radiotron, but not radio. What the hell was it called? There's the movie that they did. I'm blanking right now, dude.
Fucking.
They did fucking Ninja
yeah.
3, The Domination.
No,
That's
was
what
it?
they were doing shit like that.
No, because they were also part. They kind of like sponsored a bit of Radiotron's like space too, where all these fools were like dancing. and
I wouldn't
doing all
doubt
that.
it.
Yeah, because the homie Carmelo mentioned that he's like Canon came through and they like rented the space where they were hosting Radiotron, or where all these fools would come through, dance,
Right,
break,
right.
freaking play on the turntables, do graffiti upstairs and all that.
Yeah.
And then Canon wanted to use their space because they're like, yo, this shit looks like super authentic. They're like, what do you mean super authentic? This is where these
This is
fools,
what it is.
this is all these fools is art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
This fool used to laugh because he's like, how the fuck did you guys do that? I'm like, well, this was like 1983. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to be a break dancer and you just happen to do some windmills and spin on your back and then you see some motherfucker with his hat on the side.
yeah.
You bust a move and fucking throw that shit. And you guys start battling in the street, with their boombox. And he's like, dig. I'm like, yeah, that's how it was.
That was the 80s.
That's how it
real
was.
shit.
You know?
Testing each other's skills.
Yeah. And then you go to Venice and you just get fucking blown the fuck away.
Oh, yeah.
Just get blown away, and then you see the skateboarding right there.
Yeah.
That's how everything evolves into punk rock and how we are today, because that's where it all took place.
Yeah.
I think without the bebop shit, like the b-boy shit, I would have never made my way to Venice and seeing skateboarding and hearing like suicidal tendencies.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck they were.
Yeah.
Just hearing like fast music.
Yeah.
I didn't know who it was. It's like when I heard, Minor Threat, I said, damn, I never heard a fucking punk band curse. So, yeah, the rest is what we do today. And I mean, we're fucking in our 40s now to talk about it.
Hey, man, I think it's a privilege, like you guys have lived those like freaking
Eras.
not just,
Chapters,
eras,
yeah.
right? Of different moments in music, but then still being able to say like, yo, we're still around and we're still making an impact. People are still like influenced by our sound. I think that in and of itself says a lot about your freaking stamp on the culture, whether it's hip hop or punk rock. Because again, coming back to our conversation, like I've always seen the two almost like freaking like a braid,
Definitely.
Yeah.
like they're just intertwined,
Definitely.
and where they happen to hit harder is where it's like in the hoods, so like the streets, so I'm just like always intrigued by that. I'm like, there's something there that not a lot of people talk about, and how much that influences people's willingness to continue in the face of struggle, but not be reduced by it. You know what I mean?
I think it's always been there. I mean, because we've all heard the songs. You heard I See Colors.
Right.
My mom was on crack. My sister got tracks. And everybody thinks like, yo, those are some fucking dope ass flow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
But if
But
you
that's-
ask motherfuckers, hey, is your mom on dope?
Yeah.
Then they gotta tell you.
They gonna be quiet real quick.
We already know. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was part of the jokes too in the school grounds, right? Like, oh, your mama's a crackhead. Oh shit, everybody would get hurt by that because they're like, fuck.
Then you get
yo.
older, like, his mom was a basehead, dog.
Yeah. And then you realize you're like, oh shit,
She's
that
a
was
score of
fucked
my
up.
uncle. She used to score of my uncle.
Right, exactly. No, facts. Yo, no, for reals. Yo, I remember even in elementary fools were like, yo, my uncle's from 38th Street, this, that, Playboy's this, that. I'm like, whoa, okay.
I mean,
in elementary, bro.
Yeah, just like looking back at something like what we're saying right now, you know what I mean? Like I had a cousin and shit, and back in the days in the 80s, that fool used to, fucking huff thinner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's, people go to the ditching
doing
parties
that
and
shit,
show up with a bottle, Strawberry Hill. That's what they used to fucking roll up with a pickle jar of thinner and a fucking rag, trying to fucking get everybody off. Like, what's up?
He's like,
what's
like, we're gonna get high, or I'm gonna throw this shit as a Molotov.
Like, this motherfucker got no cigarettes, but he got a pickle jar of thinner. That shit, he's fucking ready.
It's okay. It's my preference. My preference for the evening.
Fully acclimated.
Everybody got a blunt. That fool said, "Fuck that, I'm trip."
He's like, this is my cologne.
I got some nail polish, homie. You just fucking take a hit.
Yeah. Life is real like that, man. I think
like that. Just like we're clowning like that. Those are the real songs.
Exactly.
And there's kids out there like myself and them who can sit there and like, okay, I know what the fuck he's talking about.
Because we've seen it.
Dog.
Like we've seen it, our neighbors, family, cousins, whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's been in front of us.
To the kids in the suburbs, they think that's hard. You know what I mean? Well, hey, average kid, why don't you give me the deed to your house and I'll give you mine? And you can live in my water and I'll go to yours. Right?
See,
I'm trying to get to your spot.
Because I feel like that's exactly what we still live through these days, man. Even in like that pop culture shit, the whole like food, like the genres of like, the fools that be singing about drug dealing and all this, right? And being in the hood and gang fucking culture and all this shit. And you have these suburb kids singing along to it and shit and be like, yo, even almost dressing the fucking part, But will they step in the hood? Will they survive a day or two or three, a week? Like that's not a place to like, I feel like it just gets glorified too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
definitely
switching roles like that. Nobody wants to live like that, But like,
if you grew up in the block, you know what it is.
Yeah, nobody wants to live like that, man.
You know what it is. I mean, if there's fucking gunshots, you better put up your TV. You know what I mean? You better put up the TV. Fools don't know shit like that, man. Where it's like, yo, just like you said, suburban white boys will fucking glorify that shit. And when I say suburban white boys, we're talking about some motherfuckers that don't even know where the hood's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to fucking sing about shit or dress like that because it's cool.
Well,